Hey Jim, it's Oliver here. I'm right here. Just wanted to take you through the product line, tell you a little bit about what's going on. Again, the major goal is to be able to give you streaming music, but not to just one speaker as what Bluetooth allows, but to multiple throughout the house to be in sync so that all those speakers are playing the same music in the same beat, as well as the ability to play different songs in each room if you like. They're all Wi-Fi based, so we don't need any wires necessarily, just a good network, which I'm sure you have, or we can help with. And that's about it. So taking it through the line, starts with something as small as this to give you some reference to my hand. It's a nice little speaker, kind of similar in performance to a little Bluetooth speaker like that, but this one does have that multi-room capability. It starts at $300. We do have one in between I don't have on display. It's called the M5. It's about twice the size of that M3. Good amount more sound at 600. Then we move on to a product like this. It's a little bit more of that B&O refinement, meaning both the materials, you know, this is aluminum anodized, how that feels when you touch it. It also does have a battery so you can, you know, move it from space to space. And it has a technology called an acoustic lens, which allows high frequency to be at a wide dispersion and a very even high-end sound. That one also has voice, so you can, you know, just verbally tell it what you would like it to play, and again initiate multiple speakers as well, either by voice or by simply touching what we call a hot button. So for instance, I could touch a hot button there, and again it would not only play a song or playlist that I like automatically, but also that could be created as a group, meaning I like all the speakers on the first floor to come on when I push that button, so you and your family don't even need to have a phone or speak to it. You just press that button and it's going to play everywhere. And that comes in a variety of finishes, aluminum, bronze, brass. This is called the New York edition. It's kind of a gradated aluminum, meaning it goes from a darker black to a lighter black. So that's a fun product. We also have the Beosound 2 I'll show you in a moment, which is a larger version of it. Because I'm standing here, there's also the A9, which is a larger version, more powerful. You know, it has over 1,000 watts of power. Rear firing subwoofer. It has some room adaptive acoustics. Again, to give you some idea, you know, again, this standing here is, you know, roughly about 3 feet high, and again, quite a bit more powerful, but flexible enough that you can position anywhere in a corner. It also comes in different finishes. There's a different material, different color, quite nice. A hot seller right now in a new product is called the Beosound Balance, which is here. A little bit larger than a Beosound 1, more in performance level of the Beosound 2 I'll show you, which again is the larger version of the one I showed you previously with the aluminum. But it has some added refinements in acoustics where we can directionalize the sound. So I can have a 360-degree sound, which is good for when you're standing in many different locations, meaning omnidirectional. If I'm standing to the left or right, it's going to sound good. The downside of omnidirectional sound is you get more reflection. So it's not necessarily good if you're only sitting right where I'm standing right now. So in other words, if I'm the only one listening, it's not beneficial to be omnidirectional because there's no one else in the room. I want it to be directional so that I don't get reflection from the walls and other hard surfaces. So this speaker has the ability to actually adjust that. I can have it be more directional, left, right, center, or omnidirectional, so that I can get that added benefit. Also using Google Cast, if that's your preferred music distribution, you can actually do stereo pairing, so you can do a left and right. But so far, everything we've talked about are single point speakers, meaning you only need one per room. Here's another one, a real powerhouse. It's actually more powerful than the A9, which is larger. So this one is, you know, roughly 25 inches tall or so. You can even physically rock it to control the volume, kind of a neat little B&O touch there, but mainly it's just about being very powerful and an interesting design as well. We also have sound bars. So again, you can sort of see the lineup here as we talked about so far. I can, if I have a non-B&O TV, I could just add that sound bar to get sound from the television, but also incorporate that in the multi-room audio experience. But same story as always, great materials, great craftsmanship. This one's wood, this one is metal, we call it anthracite finish. And again, it's 550 watts of power here. Last year it was rated the #1 soundbar on the market, the best sounding. So again, it's about high quality sound, high quality design, but at a good price point. It's $1,750, $1,750, and it's commiserate of the quality of, let's say, a Sonos soundbar with a Sonos sub. And if you look up the pricing of those two pieces, that's basically the number, and this one outperforms it, meaning it has many more drivers, 11 drivers, 3 times the power, so its dynamic range and power is better than the Sonos with the 2 pieces. Plus, I don't need to hide that ugly black plastic piece that the Sonos has. So it's really become almost a value proposition in my estimation, in that when you're looking for certain features and certain performance levels, you're better off just buying it in the product and trying to piece it together with other things. Taking you up the line, we have also our Beosound Shape. This is a incredible concept in that you can design it any way you want, meaning this is a pretty large installation, but it can be as small as 6 cubes, which I have down here. Here's one design here, here's another design here. The concept again is that you fit acoustically what you want and aesthetically what you want. They're 2 different discussions. So the speakers, the cubes that are not speakers are dampeners, so they help with sound reflection, so the room sounds better. But frankly, it's also just about proportions, meaning you might only need a pair of speakers and an amplifier, but aesthetically the wall needs a lot more than that. Again, it's a very flexible concept in design and performance, and if you're looking at something to cover the wall that's that interesting, I would even argue to buy art that size and be interesting would cost you more than this whole solution cost. That one ranges from about $4,500 to the sky's the limit. What you're seeing there is about $15,000 for that one. The next one, I don't know if I mentioned pricing, but the balance is $2,250, and the A9 is about $3,000, depending on finish, a little bit more. The Edge is $3,500. That's the round one on its edge at the end there. And then we have again the Beosound 2, which is the larger version of the Beosound 1. It does not have the battery, but again, it's just a beautifully crafted piece. It's also $2,250. It has that great omnidirectional sound, but does not have that directional sound capability. It's just a pro and a con. A better omnidirectional sound, but no directional flexibility. And what else do we have? And then we have our 2-channel speakers, which again, some of them you may remember some of the designs, but they've evolved. Floor standing, really powerful ones. We have even more powerful ones downstairs. We of course have our televisions with high-end sound in them and integration with motorized wall brackets. So all sorts of great solutions, and frankly, again, not a bad value proposition. The televisions we make now, they no longer, the TVs, do we make them ourselves? Not that we really did, but we're not even packaging it that way, meaning that's an LG panel. You're paying no more for the LG panel than you are from us, but the finished solution is a Bang & Olufsen. So for instance here, let me go ahead and get this one on. 1 second. Go ahead and turn it on. Here we have a 65-inch OLED panel, very high-end speakers in it, and again, if I look at the fit and finish, the wood, things like that, and I do something like, let's see here, get the video here, and if I want to bring it out, I can show you physically how it looks. Again, that's motorized as you see there, or you can physically move it, and again, no other TV, if you pull it away from the wall, is going to look like that. So it's really about the fact that you're getting the high-end sound, the high-end design, and you're not paying anything more for the TV than you would normally. So again, another great solution. The last option, which I don't know if I have it on display. Let me see if I do. I do not. It's called the Beosound Core, which frankly is the ability to take either new or legacy 2-channel speakers, meaning I know you have some speakers of older generations like this. We could put a little box on the end of them and allow you to do that streaming. So that's the other option. And again, then it becomes part of the experience that if you did opt for any of these sort of all-in-one speakers that I showed you so far downstairs, or the shape, they all become part of the experience. Both your older speakers and your newer speakers all become part of that. So I think that is about it, just to get your head thinking a little bit. Think room by room, what makes sense. But either way, it's by far the largest platform on the market, meaning, you know, there's no platform on the market that gives you this many options. You know, from $300 up to $85,000, and from tiny little bookshelf speakers to our 18,000 watt speakers we have downstairs. I'm not even showing you right now. So there's a lot of options. And so just give me some thought, and I'm happy to put something together for you. Thank you.